So, in the past couple of years, as a late 20 something, I've been surrounded by the other late 20 somethings, and I've been seeing trends of our generation. And to me, they all have this emerging theme coming up again and again. I've been seeing people act like they're not going to die. Dying is inevitable. We all know this. I didn't really see myself relating to this avoidant behavior at first. Honestly, I think I judged it a lot. I was always thinking, wow, all these people, they don't want to get married, they don't want to move out. And I actually want to traverse the stages of life. I got married, I moved out, I want to have kids. I'm thankful for all the things that I've had. I'm not trying to stay young forever, right? I'm at least acknowledging and confronting these stages. So, why are so many 20 somethings around me trying to be forever children? But then I think I finally caught a glance of it, just in a way I wasn't expecting. I was spending time with some of my cousins and talking to their kids. And while talking to the kids, I was noticing that their faces are maturing and the girls are starting to tell me about dating boys and things like that. And it's suddenly dawning on me like, wow, times have clearly changed. And I was still stuck in a ghost narrative, not accepting that these kids they're growing up and they're not babies anymore. Some of them are in high school. Given I was one of the youngest cousins in a big family, I look back at my family seeing myself as the child, but I'm almost 30. So that role isn't really mine anymore. Growing up, my aunts and uncles and cousins all got together constantly. We had this big, vibrant family vibe that was really my entire world, getting together with them for events like Christmas, Easter, weddings, all that. And then my grandmother on that side of the family passed away, and the cousins moved into adulthood at this point, and it just all seemed to stop. No shared collective for coming together, and a new generation just functions differently. It's been changed that way for honestly the last 15 years. I realized I haven't been able to stop talking about stories of my family that happened 15 years ago or longer. I really don't tell any stories of today or 2 years ago, just through that 15 years ago childhood lens. It's like I'm frozen in time. But the reality is that that old family dynamic is gone. It's for a long time been replaced by a new generation that is entirely different. I mean, I had to face the fact that without my permission, I've been pushed forward into a new stage of life, just moving along the same conveyor belt as everyone else. I'm stuck on it, right? It's easy to look at modern culture, I feel, and judge their avoidance of aging, but I think I get it now. We cling to youth because stepping up the timeline means admitting where the timeline ends. I'm often feeling like I'm excited about chapters like marriage and children, etc., but in entering those, we do shut out a chapter as well. And I mean, I that is pretty sad, I've honestly been thinking about that. Like when I recently got married during my mother son dance with my mom on my wedding night, my mom and I were just bawling our eyes out on the dance floor. I knew I was still going to see her for sure, but man, I was just sad to think it wasn't going to be the same. I wasn't going to live in the same household as her, spend as much time with her, give her the same time of day that I would give, my now wife. It was obviously a relationship that I cherish. So while I think that I give a lot of thought to progressing life stages and death, I think I'm finally admitting to where I've realized I've been blind. Areas where I still had to open my eyes, and I'm sure there will be more to come. But I wanted to spend this time talking about some of the blatant avoidance of aging that I see in this generation as we get older. While I don't relate to most of it, I've been tracking it and find it interesting, no doubt. So let's get into it. Starting off with GLP-1s, the looks maxing trend, and maybe I'm out of the loop until just now, but I could almost swear people were not getting into this many aesthetic vanity type surgeries 10 or 15 years ago. Aging becomes something that is just to be corrected. It's almost like it's an insecurity we can't admit to, even though it's coming for all of us and it's inevitable. Then couple those vanity focused mindsets with the comfort trap that young people are facing, living with their parents longer, delaying traditional milestones like marriage, buying a home, or having children. If you still think you're the child of your family, how can you imagine having a child, I suppose, right? Then there's the fact that busyness doesn't even give us the time to sit and think with these things. I mean, how are you supposed to sit and think about something so big as transitioning into adulthood or marriage or something like that when you barely get outside? I just got outside the other day and I'm just staring at a tree as its leaves blew in the wind. It was something that I don't really get to do very often. I don't get to stop. I don't get to do those things because of the busyness. So I kind of get that one. And then today, there is an isolation of the elderly population. So we don't spend as much time with the elderly. If they're not in our homes, we don't have to confront their aging except for when we seldom see them. So that's a tough one. Next, when it comes to things that we want, our want is no longer consumed by who am I questions or long soul searching processes or pondering things like legacy. But instead, it's easier to have it all be consumed by immediate gratification through one day Amazon shipping, Uber Eats, and social media. It's the consumerism mindset that robs us of our deeper thinking that we could be having. Again, right? It's like we're just not able to stop. Consumerism also allows for solving all of our problems alone as individuals rather than relying on communities, which connects again, right, to the breaking down of the family. And of course, we're talking now about isolating the elderly again. And then as a collective, we have no shared soul searching in a higher power. It all just seems very connected. But it's no doubt that all of this is assaulting our relationship with aging. It's harder to be intentionally acknowledging the stages of life as we traverse them rather than just having them happen and not confronting them or even trying to actively avoid confronting them. And at the end of the day, we're all going to die. So that final stage is death. And if we can't acknowledge the very next stage of life, how can we go about accepting or acknowledging death is going to be on the timeline without a doubt? It's tough stuff. But let me know your thoughts on that or if this has got you thinking any differently. Thanks for hearing me out.